What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. How long has it been since I've gotten y'all an actual podcast video? It's been probably a couple months, but I feel like this is fitting for the discussion I want to have. And while you're listening to this discussion, you can either listen and continue what you're doing while this plays in the background, or just look at the random gameplay footage I have on the screen. Haven't decided as I'm recording this why, or not why, but what gameplay footage I'm going to be showing, or random trailers, but something on the screen will be showing if you feel like you want to sit and look at the screen. But, oh man, in this episode of the podcast, titled Unfiltered, if someone's here and they have not heard any of the podcasts that I did when I first started the channel, we're talking about how this COVID outbreak is going to basically affect our sports. And I'm going to be basically covering 4 topic points in here. Maybe going over the MLB season, going over the NBA season and their bubble, going over the NFL season, and also I'm going to cover how this could not only affect, but I think damage college and high school sports. I think high schoolers are going to be affected the most out of this. Also going to give my thoughts on how I think we can have fans. How we can, yes, how I said can have fans, because I don't hear anyone talking about this. But disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical expert, I'm not a journalist. I'm just some regular, everyday dude that's a veteran on here just talking his ideas to whoever will listen. So with that being said, so you guys, as you know right now, if you're living under a rock, which some people act like they are living under rocks, but if you're not, you see that the COVID numbers are spiking again, very hard. And in the midst of that, the NBA has said they were trying to return and play in Florida, which is hitting some of the highest spikes out of the entire country. And the MLB is saying they're going to return. Now, there has not been word. Has there been word yet that they're going to be fans? Has not been word that there will be fans. And I say this because I bought tickets. Me and my wife have tickets to a Rangers game that was scheduled to play in August, correct? August 8th. We bought those tickets months ago. I think before COVID even became a thing. February. So yeah, a while ago. And we have not been able to be given the option of getting a refund or purchasing some alternate tickets for an alternate day. Nothing. But we can all go out on a limb and assume, right, that there will be no fans in the stands for these MLB games. I think we can just all be safe and say that, right? But I have a possible solution. Again, disclaimer, I am not a medical expert. I am not a medical professional. I don't know a goddamn thing about, the vaccines or what's the progress on this. I just know what they tell us on the news, just like you guys or whoever's listening. But if anyone from MLB or that has to do with MLB is for some magical chance listening to this, I have a suggestion. Not a solution, but more of a suggestion or an idea on how you can have fans. Now, of course, you can't jam-pack the stadium, but I think if you could go through each stadium and designate a certain seat to people and have it to where if a person buys a seat in this section, then the next closest seat has to be at least 6 feet or more apart. Now, if you want to buy, let's say you have a family, you able to buy, as I call it, a family package, and you can buy up to 4 seats, no more than 4. And that's not counting a small child, like an infant, or a toddler, because they can sit in your lap. But someone that's like a small kid, like 7 or 8 or up, they need their own seat. You can purchase up to 4 seats that can sit within right next to each other. That's a family package, but you only get so many of those. Like it's a first come, first serve type of deal. All the first, I want to say, let's say, just to be on the safe side, the first 15 rows near the field and the dugouts and the home plate, all that. No one sits in those at all. And you can put up your little plastic coverings or whatever so that there are no spectators or fans near the players. Find a way for the players to kind of social distance, or have the players in the dugout wear a damn mask. I don't know if they'll be up for that. Give them an additional 1,000 or something. You start throwing money around, players may be like, I wear a mask. But only when you're in the dugout. Because I feel like in baseball, there's enough space in between the players to where, except for like the catcher and the batter, of course, and of course you're on base. But if you're on base, half the time you're not really on the base. You're kind of straddled to the side because you're ready to run or steal the base. So I don't think that's an issue. And I think the catcher, maybe just for this season, just back him up a little bit. And give the umpire, give him like a high booster seat. So he's not down there on the ground behind the catcher. He's up high in like some kind of a high chair. I don't know if he'll have a better view of seeing how the balls and pitches are thrown. Like I said, I'm just giving a suggestion. But that's on the field. Like in the stands, the first, maybe 15's too much. Let's say first 5-10 rows. No fans, unless you got seats behind the outfield, because you're already separated by a wall. Then that's different. But like behind the dugouts and behind, especially like home plate, the first. That's what football's doing. That makes sense. The first 5 or 10 rows, just no fans.
They're gonna have advertisements.
Advertisements. Put cardboard people up there for all I care. And then have first come, first serve. Matt, it don't take that long. Just have somebody sit down and map out, okay, we're going to start from this seat here, and we're going to mark every seat 6 feet apart in each direction. And if somebody buys a family pass, it's like when you go to the movies, you have to choose your seats. That's how you do it. So base it on the ticket sales. I don't know. Maybe that's too complicated. Maybe you have to designate where families can sit, and you can only designate a certain amount of family seats, which probably would be easier. But no more than 4 to a seat, or 4 in a row in a section. You could probably do more duels, like a husband and wife want to go, and if they want to have their kids sit in their lap, then they do that. But also, while you're at the games, make them wear a mask. Why not? What's wrong with having to wear a mask? I don't know. That's just my suggestion. And I suggest do the same for the NFL. Now for the NFL, I think it'll be easier. Now somebody's probably asking, well, how are they going to social distance the players? There's a whole entire sideline. Use the whole fucking sideline. What you should do is just split up your units. In the NFL, there's especially these days, there's nobody playing both sides of the ball. We haven't done that in 20 years, and if we do, it's very rare, right? So, somebody may have like a play or two for a package. Other than that, you have the offense down on one end. Keep them kind of distant, but keep them in a designated closed-off area. You put your special teams in the closed-off area, and you put your defense in the closed-off area. You have the coaches in each of those closed-off areas, and only the head coach can travel back and forth to each designated part of the team, because he's the head coach. He's involved in all of it and everything. Offensive coordinator, he keeps his ass with the offense. Special teams coach keeps his ass with special teams coach. Defensive coordinator, so on and so forth. I feel like that's easy. Now, in terms of people sitting in the front row, behind the end zone, I say do like 5 rows back. So you can, because I mean, when player, no Lambo leaping for players this year, but have a player sit like 5 rows back. But behind the sidelines, because the NFL stadium is huge, they should do about 10 to 15 rows back. And the same, like I said with the MLB, first come, first serve, no more than 4 in a row at a time in the seat. Make sure everything is 6 feet apart, because let's think, most NFL stadiums can hold up to 100,000 people. If you were to social distance in an NFL stadium, you still can probably get roughly around 50 to 60,000 at max capacity under social distancing. That is a good number. I mean, let's look at the XFL. When the XFL was playing, they had a quarter of the stadium's field, and you still heard the crowd. You can't tell me in an NFL game, because people are going to be so ready to get out there, that they are just going to be screaming at the top of their lungs. And again, have the little plastic casings up, keeping the fans away from the players, so that if somebody that's in the crowd happens to have, and they don't maybe know they happen to have COVID, they're not passing it to the players because they're not near them. But the players need to get checked before every game. Before every game, and they need to get immediately checked after. Temperature checks, all that. I know it sucks. And if I was a player, God, Lord knows I would hate that. But, I mean, what else you going to do? If you want to play and you want to stay safe, you got to do like this. As for the NBA, I mean, do they really need a crowd? Because, I mean, when you play pickup basketball, you can get into an intense game and have like 5 or 6 people spectating. So with basketball, I mean, I feel like it'd be easier for basketball and NBA. But I think too, to be interesting, without a crowd, we get to hear how professional players play in the game against another team. Like, we know how they sound in practice. And maybe, they may do like a summer league or like a little scrimmage at like a rec center or some kind of famous park outside of the season. But when the games matter, I feel like that'd be real cool to hear professional players like calling out plays, calling out, hey, I got this guy, or you take that, or cover down on this, or set the pick, all this, maybe they're out there talking trash. Just something. Just bring something. Like, I feel like there is a way to have sports. There is a way to have fans in the stands. But it's just going to be very, very tedious and a very, annoying process. But if we want to have it, I think that is the process we have to go through. Now, I feel like when it comes to the MLB and the NFL, the social distancing and the outs, I don't think no MLB team has a dome. But of course, we know there are a couple of NFL teams that have domes. I don't know if the COVID is more dangerous with an indoor, because the dome is considered indoors or outdoors. Maybe you limit even more seats when you're indoors, like, the Superdome where the Saints play, or that new Georgia Dome where the Falcons play, I don't know. That's just something I have not been hearing people talk about, but that is something that I think about. Like, we can have fans in the stands. We just have to really limit how many fans we have. Now, do you want to do a situation where you have someone at the gates when the fans come in checking temperatures? Because let's talk NFL stadiums. 60,000 people. There's a lot of temperatures to check. Those port thermometers might not even make it an inch of the way. Like, I don't know how many reads a thermometer will have in it. But 60,000 is a lot of people. Like, that, just think of that in the book. That is a lot of people. There's a lot of people. So maybe they could do it. I don't know. I don't know if there's a way. I mean, you just trust the integrity of a fan. But I mean, as you see the spikes in the numbers out here in the country, we can't seem to trust our people. Because instead of keeping your ass at home or social distancing and, trying to get rid of this damn thing, we're still out here acting a fool, being hard-headed, and now numbers are spiking again because you can't sit your ass at the house and be still. You ain't got no patience. And this is coming from a person, me, I have absolutely no fucking patience. But I would rather sit my ass at home and not risk my family getting this shit than rather being out like, ooh, yeah, party. Fuck that. I'm going to sit the hell at home. Then again, my mindset's different. I'm a veteran. I'm not that old. I'm only 30. But I've been overseas twice. I feel like I'm a lot older. I feel a lot older than 30 years old. But that's another story for another day. But in terms of seating, that is my suggestion for seating. College and high school. This is how I think college and high school can really be affected. And I mean affected in a bad way. So, NFL, MLB, NBA, they're professionals. This is literally how they earn their living. Playing the game. In terms of college and high school, this is not how these kids earn their living. Imagine being, let's take this scenario. Let's say Zion Williamson was a senior this year. He just graduated in 2020. And he had all this upside and hype. Let's say he's going to graduate in 2021. Excuse me. He was a junior this year, and we had all the same hype on him. And he was going to graduate 2021, but he couldn't play his senior season because of the COVID. Which means that's going to hurt him getting recruited because colleges aren't playing. I mean, we didn't get March Madness. We have not heard a word from the NCAA. As far as me recording this, I ain't heard shit from the NCAA. I don't know what they're going to do about high school. Because high school, especially in basketball, that's a way more enclosed space. And yeah, you could easily let in a certain amount of people and be like, hey, sit 6 feet apart. You can't enter unless you wear a mask. You can only sit from halfway down the bleachers and up, away from the players. Like, I don't know if the players are not playing, wear a mask. I don't know what good that would do. Make the refs wear a mask. Like, I don't know how we're gonna do this. But man, like, people, we have got to do better. We've got to stop being hard-headed. America, we are hard-headed motherfuckers. We got to stop doing this. We got to get the numbers down, or we're not going to get our sports back to normal. But I think this is going to really hurt those high school kids more, especially like football, because when you're a top-notch recruit, you're starting to get recruited around your sophomore, junior year. And if you can't play your junior, senior season, I mean, how can you get better, one? And then two, colleges, they can't send scouts to look at you because you're not playing. So they just have to go on what they already have and recruit you based on that, when maybe you could have fell off a cliff, or you could have got around some better talent and got exposed, or somebody could have been a late bloomer and then they take your spot. I'm just thinking about all the scenarios. That's the things I think about when I see how COVID is affecting the sports landscape. Do I want sports back? You bet your sweet ass I want sports back. I want it back so bad. Summer, in terms of sports for me, is already boring because I don't watch regular season baseball. I watch playoffs. Because that's what it meant. They have 182 fucking games. I am not finna sit and watch 182 goddamn games. Now, I'll watch the playoffs because it matters. Same with NBA. NBA, I don't watch until the Christmas Day games. And then right around All-Star break. Because that's when it starts picking up. Of course, with the NFL and college football, every week matters. Every week matters. That's why I'm a hard football junkie. I played it. I'm a diehard football junkie. And same with college. I don't even watch college basketball. Most people wait till March Madness. I don't even wait till then. I wait till the Final Four. And then I look and see who's in it. If it's like, if I look at the teams and I'm like, like I can't. The past season before his rookie year when Zion was in Duke is the most I have ever paid attention to college basketball because of the hype. Because I was seeing his highlights before he came out. I was like, who is this dude? He's like a grown-ass man out there with the boys. But that was the most I've ever paid attention to college basketball. Ever. Before that, I think the last time I paid that much attention to college basketball when Carmelo was at Syracuse. That's over 15 years ago. I was a teenager. So that tells you my interest in college basketball. Because half the time, I don't even know who some of these kids are until they get in the league and make a name for themselves. So with that being said, like, I don't know. Whoever's listening to this, what do y'all think? Get into the discussion here. Talk about it amongst yourselves. Post some comments down in the comment section. Tell me what y'all think. Do you like my idea or suggestion for how they should do the seating for the fans? Possibly. Do you think we should have sports back? Do you want sports back? I don't know, man. I don't know. But sports is not the only thing that's being affected. Gaming is being affected too. But I would talk about how gaming and from my eyes is being affected as well. I'll talk about that next week. That's right. You're going to get 2 Unfiltered podcasts 2 weeks in a row. You ain't got that since Moses was walking around. Just playing. But it's been a while. So that being said, I'm going to end it here. I didn't want to make this no hour-long talk. I just want to make this a quick, but, good discussion and just get my thoughts out. I've been having these thoughts build up, and I wanted to get them out, and I got my platform now, so I wanted to speak in it. But if you liked and enjoyed the video, be sure to please subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the like button. Share this video with other people. If there are any professional journalists, anybody out there that's listening to this, do you think my idea is it good? Is it stupid? Is it, shut your ass up, you ain't nobody but a everyday Joe? Just leave me your thoughts down in the comment section. But I am Apollo. I am signing out. Thank you guys for listening. To whoever listened, y'all take care. Be safe. Don't be out there doing stupid shit. And keep your ass in the house unless you really, really need to go out. All right? I'll talk to y'all later. Peace!